Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to an episode, a special episode. I do programs called Savvy Sikh, so effectively this is a special edition. And we were approached recently and we were talking about an incident that took place literally a week ago. We've got the particular people here who it actually affected, and we've also got some really nice guests as well to talk about what we can do from an optimistic level going forward. The program we're going to do is going to be a mix of Punjabi and English, an opportunity to reach out to a wider group of people that watch Sikh Channel 840, and we're very thankful to 840 to give an opportunity for this kind of discussion to take place. My name is Dr. Savi. I'm going to introduce some of the people here. We have Gurjeet Singh, who is the son of Amarjit Kaur, who unfortunately the particular situation happened. Just in a very succinct summary of what was going on, about a week ago there was a particularly bad episode with Metropolitan Police with Amarjit Kaur, who happened to be in the car with her mother, which is Mata Dalit Kaur, who we see on the end there as well. So the other people that we have with us today is we have Metropolitan Kaur, who is a legal director of United Sikhs, and really impressed with the organisation. They do some tremendous work. They do tremendous charity activities, and if you get an opportunity, you should go to unitedsikhs.org and really check out the website and see the outstanding initiatives that are taking place. And she will be telling us about basically what we can do going forward. And this particular episode that took place, I'm not going to steal anyone's thunder here. When you do get to hear it, you'll be hearing it in Punjabi. It's very upsetting, and you'll say, in this day and age, in 2012, when people have been in this country for so many years, we still have a level of ignorance from a particular group of society that are supposed to be protecting us, i.e. the police. We also have with us Jagier Kaur Sikhan, Dr. Jagier Kaur Sikhan, who is actually from Greenwich Council, but she's not representing Greenwich Council today. She's actually here representing the Gurdwaras. Right? There is, when we do get a chance to talk to her, there's apologies from the President, I believe, yeah? But if you're there, wherever you are, President, I'm sure you're watching. I mentioned before Mother Dalit Kaur, and on the end, last but not least, we have a very great person, actually, from all the things he's told me, all the things he's been involved in. I'm very impressed with the amazing medal that he's wearing, but he's too modest to talk about it. This is Harjinder Singh, who's a retired Metropolitan Police officer. Also, he is the head of, he's done a lot of delivery of diversity training, and I think you've been ahead of that particular area as well, and you're a leader in that, and you're now a freelance consultant and doing some tremendous work there. So, let's move on to the central issue right now. Let's talk about what happened. We switched to Punjabi, and Sashka Biji, gala, okay. ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਦੱਸੋ ਕਿ ਕੀ ਹੋਇਆ ਸੀ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਇੱਕ ਹਫ਼ਤੇ ਪਿੱਛੇ।
ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ। 6 ਜੁਲਾਈ ਫਰਾਈਡੇ, ਹਾਂਜੀ, ਤਕਰੀਬਨ 1:30 ਮੈਂ ਵੂਲਿਚ ਚ ਗੁਰਦੁਆਰਾ ਸਿੰਘ ਸਭਾ ਤੋਂ ਆ ਰਹੇ ਸੀ, ਨਾਲ ਮੇਰੇ ਮਾਤਾ ਜੀ ਸਨ। ਥੋੜ੍ਹੀ ਕੁ ਦੂਰ ਉੱਥੋਂ ਆਏ ਆ ਅਤੇ ਬਾਅਦ ਵਿੱਚ ਇੱਕ ਗੱਡੀ ਪੁਲਿਸ ਦੀ ਮੇਰੇ ਪਿੱਛੇ ਆਈ। ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਸਾਇਰਨ ਲਗਾ ਕੇ ਲਾਈਟ ਫਲੈਸ਼ਿੰਗ ਕਰਕੇ, ਅਤੇ ਮੈਂ ਸੋਚਿਆ ਕਿ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਓਵਰਟੇਕ ਕਰਨ ਆਇਆ। ਇੱਕ ਪਾਸੇ ਬੱਸ ਲੇਨ ਸੀ, ਮੈਂ ਉਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਗਈ ਨਹੀਂ, ਰੋਕੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਿ ਮੈਂ ਬੱਸ ਲੇਨ 'ਚ ਗਈ ਅਤੇ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਪੁਲਿਸ ਨਾ ਰੋਕ ਲਵੇ, ਅਤੇ ਦੂਜੇ ਪਾਸੇ ਰਸਤਾ ਖਾਲੀ ਸੀ, ਟ੍ਰੈਫਿਕ ਹੈ ਨਹੀਂ ਸੀ। ਮੈਂ ਸੋਚਿਆ ਓਵਰਟੇਕ ਕਿਉਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰਦੇ। ਇਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਕਰਕੇ ਤਕਰੀਬਨ 100 ਯਾਰਡ ਜਾਂ 150 ਯਾਰਡ ਮੈਂ ਗਈ, ਆਪਣੀ ਸਪੀਡ ਚੈੱਕ ਕੀਤੀ, ਠੀਕ ਸੀ। ਅਤੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਫਿਰ ਰਾਈਟ 'ਤੇ ਗੱਡੀ ਖੜੀ ਕਰਕੇ, ਜਿਹੜਾ ਪੈਸੇਂਜਰ ਸੀਗਾ ਗ੍ਰੀਨਿਚ ਬਾਰ ਆਫ ਆਫਿਸਰ, ਉਹਨੇ ਵਿੰਡੋ ਵਿੱਚੋਂ ਮੂੰਹ ਬਾਹਰ ਕੱਢ ਕੇ ਚੰਗੀ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਸ਼ਾਊਟ ਕੀਤਾ, ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਆਪਣੀ ਵਹੀਕਲ ਬੱਸ ਲੇਨ 'ਚ ਪੁੱਲ ਕਰ। ਅਤੇ ਮੈਂ ਕਿਹਾ ਉਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਕੈਮਰਾ, ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਆਈ ਡੋਂਟ ਕੇਅਰ, ਮੈਂ ਕੈਮਰੇ ਦੀ ਕੇਅਰ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰਦਾ, ਤੈਨੂੰ ਉੱਥੇ ਗੱਡੀ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਜਾਣੀ ਪੈਣੀ ਆ ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਮੈਂ ਤੈਨੂੰ ਸਟੋਪ ਕਰਦਾ। ਮੈਂ ਕਿਹਾ ਠੀਕ ਹੈ, ਮੈਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਸੀ। ਅਤੇ ਮੈਂ ਫਿਰ ਉੱਥੇ ਗੱਡੀ ਰੋਕ ਲਈ, 2 ਯਾਰਡ ਗੱਡੀ ਇੱਧਰ ਟੇਢੀ ਕਰਕੇ ਮੈਂ ਰੋਕ ਲਈ। ਉਹਨੇ ਮੇਰੇ ਮੂਹਰੇ ਗੱਡੀ ਰੋਕ ਲਈ, ਹੈ ਨਾ। ਰੋਕ ਕੇ ਦੋਨੇ ਪੁਲਿਸ ਆਫਿਸਰ ਬਾਹਰ ਆ ਗਏ, ਮੇਰੀ ਚਾਬੀ ਵੀ ਗੱਡੀ ਵਿੱਚ, ਡੋਰ ਵੀ ਖੁੱਲ੍ਹੀ ਰਹਿ ਗਈ। ਤਾਂ ਜਦੋਂ ਬਾਹਰ ਆਏ ਤਾਂ ਲੈਫਟ ਹੈਂਡ ਸਾਈਡ 'ਤੇ ਸੀਗਾ ਆਪਣਾ ਟ੍ਰੈਫਿਕ ਆਫਿਸਰ, ਅਤੇ ਰਾਈਟ 'ਤੇ ਸੀਗਾ ਗ੍ਰੀਨਿਚ ਬਾਰ ਆਫਿਸਰ। ਉਹ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਪਤਾ ਤੂੰ ਗੱਡੀ ਰੋਕੀ ਨਹੀਂ, ਮੈਂ ਤੈਨੂੰ ਚਾਰਜ ਕਰ ਸਕਦਾ ਇਸ ਚੀਜ਼ ਵਿੱਚ ਤੇ ਨੋਟ ਲਿਖਣ ਲੱਗ ਗਿਆ। ਮੈਂ ਕਿਹਾ ਠੀਕ ਆ, ਮੈਂ ਸੌਰੀ ਮੰਗਦੀ ਆ, ਮੇਰੀ ਮਿਸਟੇਕ ਆ। ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਯੈਸ ਤੂੰ ਬਹੁਤ ਵੱਡੀ ਮਿਸਟੇਕ ਕੀਤੀ ਆ। ਮੈਂ ਕਿਹਾ ਠੀਕ ਆ, ਹੈ ਨਾ। ਤੇ ਬਾਅਦ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਦੂਸਰਾ ਸੀਗਾ ਇੱਧਰਲੇ ਪਾਸੇ ਟ੍ਰੈਫਿਕ ਆਫਿਸਰ, ਉਹਨੇ ਮੇਰੇ ਸ੍ਰੀ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਦੇਖ ਲਈ, ਉਹਨੇ ਜੰਪਰ ਚੱਕ ਕੇ ਸ੍ਰੀ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਵਿੱਚੋਂ ਕੱਢ ਲਈ, ਮਿਆਨ ਵਿੱਚੋਂ ਕੱਢ ਲਈ। ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਤੂੰ ਨਾਈਫ ਫੇਅਰਿੰਗ ਕਰਦੀ ਆ। ਮੈਂ ਇੰਨੀ ਘਬਰਾਈ ਸੀ ਕਿ ਮੈਂ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਸਟੋਪ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰ ਸਕੀ, ਕਿ ਮੈਂ ਕਹਾਂ ਕਿ ਤੂੰ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਟੱਚ ਨਾ ਕਰ, ਤੂੰ ਹੱਥ ਨਾ ਲੈ, ਮੈਂ ਕੁਛ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰ ਸਕੀ ਸਿਰਫ ਦੁੱਖ ਤੋਂ ਬਿਨਾਂ। ਤੇ ਫਿਰ ਉਹਨੇ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਦੂਜੇ ਪਾਸੇ ਗ੍ਰੀਨਿਚ ਬਾਰ ਆਫਿਸਰ, ਉਹਨੇ ਮੇਰੇ ਡਿਟੇਲ ਲਏ। ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਤੇਰੇ ਕੋਲ ਲਾਇਸੈਂਸ ਹੈਗਾ? ਮੈਂ ਕਿਹਾ ਫੁੱਲ ਲਾਇਸੈਂਸ ਹੈਗਾ, ਮੈਂ 89 ਤੋਂ ਡਰਾਈਵਿੰਗ ਕਰਦੀ ਹਾਂ, ਪਰ ਮੇਰੀ ਗੱਡੀ ਅੱਜ ਤੱਕ ਰੋਕੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਿਸੇ ਨੇ, ਤੇ ਮੈਂ ਘਬਰਾਈ ਹਾਂ। ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਲਾਇਸੈਂਸ ਤੂੰ ਕੈਰੀ ਕਰਦੀ ਹਾਂ ਨਾਲ? ਮੈਂ ਕਿਹਾ ਨਹੀਂ। ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਤੈਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਨਿਊ ਲੋ, ਬਾਈ ਲੋ ਤੈਨੂੰ ਲਾਇਸੈਂਸ ਨਾਲ ਰੱਖਣਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਸੀ। ਮੈਂ ਕਿਹਾ ਓਕੇ ਨੈਕਸਟ ਟਾਈਮ ਮੈਂ ਰੱਖ ਲੂँਗੀ, ਪਰ ਹੁਣ ਮੇਰੇ ਕੋਲ ਹੈ ਨਹੀਂ, ਮੈਂ ਤੈਨੂੰ ਦਿਖਾ ਸਕਦੀ ਹਾਂ, ਮੇਰੇ ਕੋਲ ਘਰ ਹੈਗਾ, ਮੈਂ ਨੈਕਸਟ ਟਾਈਮ ਮੈਂ ਕੋਲ ਰੱਖ ਲੂँਗੀ। ਅੱਛਾ, ਤੇ ਬਾਅਦ ਵਿੱਚ ਉਹਨੇ ਡੇਟ ਆਫ ਬਰਥ ਐਡਰੈਸ ਵਗੈਰਾ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਡਿਟੇਲ ਚੈੱਕ ਕੀਤੀਆਂ। ਚੈੱਕ ਕਰਕੇ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਉਹਨੇ ਕੁਛ ਨਹੀਂ ਦੱਸਿਆ।
ਉਹ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਗੱਲ ਕਰ ਰਹੀ, ਮਾਤਾ ਜੀ ਨਾਲ ਨਹੀਂ ਗੱਲ ਕੀਤੀ ਨਾ ਉਹਨੇ?
ਨਹੀਂ ਜੀ, ਮਾਤਾ ਜੀ ਨਾਲ ਇਹ ਬਾਹਰ ਆਉਣ ਲੱਗੇ ਸੀਗੇ। ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਦੇਖਿਆ ਮੈਂ ਘਬਰਾਈਆਂ, ਤੇ ਉਹ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਬਾਹਰ ਨਹੀਂ ਆਉਣਾ, ਹੈ ਨਾ। ਹਾਂਜੀ, ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨਾਲ ਕੋਈ ਗੱਲ ਨਹੀਂ ਕੀਤੀ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ, ਇਹ ਬੈਠੇ ਰਹੇ ਮੇਰੇ ਵੱਲ ਦੇਖੀ ਗਏ।
ਸੋ ਉਸ ਟਾਈਮ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਕਿਰਪਾਨ, ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਜੰਪਰ ਚੁੱਕ ਕੇ, ਫਿਰ ਕਿਰਪਾਨ
ਜੰਪਰ ਚੁੱਕ ਕੇ ਸ੍ਰੀ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਹਾਂਜੀ ਮਿਆਨ ਵਿੱਚੋਂ ਕੱਢ ਲਿਆ।
ਉਹ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਹੋਸਟਸ ਸੀ ਉਹਨੇ ਛੋੜ ਦਿੱਤਾ, ਪਰ ਕਿਰਪਾਨ
ਹਾਂਜੀ ਹਾਂਜੀ ਉਹ ਛੋੜ ਦਿੱਤਾ, ਗਾਤਰਾ ਵੀ ਰਹਿਣ ਦਿੱਤਾ।
ਤੁਸੀਂ ਦੱਸ ਰਹੇ ਸੀ ਪਹਿਲੇ ਕਿ ਉਹ ਕੀ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਸੀ ਕਿ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਗੱਡੀ ਦੇ ਪਿੱਛੇ ਰੱਖ ਸਕਦੇ ਬੂਟ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ? ਹਾਂਜੀ,
ਬਾਅਦ ਵਿੱਚ ਫਿਰ ਉਹ ਹਾਂਜੀ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਡਿਟੇਲ ਚੈੱਕ ਕੀਤੀਆਂ, ਲਾਇਸੈਂਸ ਸ਼ੋਰ ਸਾਰਾ ਕੁਝ ਅਪ ਟੂ ਡੇਟ ਸੀਗਾ ਮੇਰਾ ਨਾ, ਪਰ ਉਹਨੇ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਦੱਸਿਆ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਿ ਤੇਰਾ ਪੇਪਰ ਵਰਕ ਠੀਕ ਆ, ਹੈ ਨਾ। ਤੇ ਮੈਂ ਉਹ ਘਬਰਾਈ ਸੀਗੀ। ਫਿਰ ਮੈਂ ਇੱਦਾਂ ਸਟੈਪ ਮੂਵ ਕੀਤਾ, ਮੈਨੂੰ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਤੂੰ ਆਪਣੇ ਫੀਟ ਮੂਵ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੀ ਕਰਬ ਤੋਂ। ਮੈਂ ਕਿਹਾ ਮੈਂ ਮੋਬਾਈਲ ਯੂਜ਼ ਕਰਨਾ, ਹੈ ਨਾ, ਮੈਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਸਨ ਨੂੰ ਫੋਨ ਕਰਨਾ। ਅੱਛਾ, ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਲੈ ਲਾ, ਵੀ ਮਾਤਾ ਜੀ ਕੋਲ ਸੀਗਾ। ਇਹਨਾਂ ਤੋਂ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਫੋਨ ਕੀਤਾ। ਜਦ ਨੂੰ ਮੇਰੀ ਜ਼ੁਬਾਨ ਇੰਨੀ ਸੁੱਕੀ ਸੀ, ਇਹ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਮਾਂ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਸਮਝ ਨਹੀਂ ਪੈਂਦੀ। ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਇੱਦਾਂ, ਮੈਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਇਹੀ ਵਰਡ ਕਿਹਾ, ਮੈਂ ਕਿਹਾ ਮੇਰੀ ਸ੍ਰੀ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਪੁਲਿਸ ਨੇ ਲਾ ਲਈ ਹੈ ਨਾ। ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਸੁਣ ਲਿਆ, ਤੇ ਬਾਅਦ ਵਿੱਚ ਮੈਂ ਫੋਨ ਕੱਟਤਾ। ਫਿਰ ਮੈਂ ਕਿਹਾ ਮੈਂ ਸਵੀਟ ਮੂੰਹ 'ਚ ਪਾਣੀ ਆ। ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਤੇਰੀ ਸਵੀਟ ਕਿੱਥੇ ਆ? ਮੈਂ ਕਿਹਾ ਬੂਟ ਵਿੱਚ, ਮੇਰਾ ਹੈਂਡ ਬੈਗ ਉਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਆ, ਹੈ ਨਾ, ਮੇਰਾ ਮਾਊਥ ਡਰਾਈ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ। ਅੱਛਾ, ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਪਾ ਲਾ। ਜਦ ਮੈਂ ਫੋਨ ਪਾਉਣ ਲੱਗੀ ਸਵੀਟ, ਮੇਰੇ ਹੱਥ 'ਚ ਮੋਬਾਈਲ ਫੜਿਆ ਸੀ, ਮੈਂ ਥੋੜੀ ਜਿਹੀ ਮੂੰਹ ਨਾਲ ਨਾ ਕਲੀਅਰ ਪੇਪਰ ਮੇਰੇ ਕੋਲ ਫਲੋਰ ਤੇ ਡਿੱਗਿਆ। ਤੇ ਗ੍ਰੀਨਿਚ ਆਫਿਸਰ ਨੇ ਇੰਨਾ ਸ਼ਾਊਟ ਕੀਤਾ ਮੈਨੂੰ, ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਤੈਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਤੂੰ ਪੇਪਰ ਥੱਲੇ ਸਿੱਟਿਆ, ਤੂੰ ਸਿੱਟ ਨਹੀਂ ਸਕਦੀ।
ਲੱਗਦਾ ਕਿ ਕੋਈ ਚੀਜ਼ ਲੱਭ ਰਹੀ ਸੀ, ਕੋਈ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਬਲੇਮ ਕਰਨ ਵਾਸਤੇ। ਹਾਂਜੀ,
ਮੈਂ ਕਿਹਾ ਸੌਰੀ, ਹੈ ਨਾ, ਕਿ ਮੇਰਾ ਹੱਥ ਬਿਜੀ ਸੀਗਾ, ਕੁਛ ਸਟਿੱਕੀ ਸਵੀਟ ਸੀਗੀ। ਮੈਂ ਕਿਹਾ ਇੰਨਾ ਕਿ ਪੇਪਰ ਡਿੱਗਾ, ਛੋਟਾ ਜਿਹਾ ਟਾਈਨੀ ਪੇਪਰ, ਹੈ ਨਾ। ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਤੂੰ ਸਿੱਟ ਨਹੀਂ ਸਕਦੀ ਰੋਡ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ। ਮੈਂ ਬਸ ਸੁਣ ਕੇ ਚੁੱਪ ਕਰ ਰਹੀ, ਕੁਛ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਿਹਾ, ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਮੈਂ ਕੁਛ ਕਰ ਨਹੀਂ ਸਕਦੀ, ਬੇਬਸ ਸੀ ਨਾ।
ਥੋੜੀ ਕਿਹਾ ਸੀ ਜਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਬੋਲ ਰਹੇ ਸੀ? ਹਾਂਜੀ, ਗੁੱਸੇ ਤਰੀਕੇ ਨਾਲ ਸੀ? ਬਹੁਤ ਗੁੱਸੇ ਵਿੱਚ, ਹੱਸ ਰਹੇ ਸੀ ਨਾ?
ਉਸ ਵੇਲੇ ਬਹੁਤ ਗੁੱਸੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਸੀ, ਸ਼ਾਊਟ ਕਰਦੇ।
ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਸੀ ਕਿ ਥੋੜੇ ਜੋਕੀ ਦਾ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਸੀ ਕੋਈ, ਕਿ
ਉਹ ਇਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਕਰਦੇ, ਇਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਕਿ ਬਹੁਤ ਵੱਡਾ ਕ੍ਰਿਮੀਨਲ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਫੜ ਲਿਆ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ, ਇਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਸੀਗੇ।
ਡਿਸਰਿਸਪੈਕਟ ਸੀ ਨਾ ਕਾਫੀ? ਹਾਂਜੀ,
ਬਹੁਤ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਸੀਗੇ, ਬਹੁਤ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਸੀਗੇ। ਜੇ ਇਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਬਿਹੇਵ ਨਾ ਕਰਦੇ ਤੇ ਮੈਂ ਸ੍ਰੀ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਹੱਥ ਨਹੀਂ ਲਾਉਣ ਦੇਣਾ ਸੀਗਾ ਨਾ, ਹੈ ਨਾ, ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਮੈਂ ਡਰੀ ਸੀ। ਮੈਨੂੰ ਇਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਸੀ ਅੱਜ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਅਰੈਸਟ ਕਰਕੇ ਕਿਸੇ ਪਾਸੇ ਲੈ ਜਾਣਗੇ ਤੇ ਮਾਤਾ 'ਚ ਗੱਡੀ 'ਚ ਬੈਠੇ ਰਹਿ ਜਾਣਗੇ, ਹੈ ਨਾ, ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਪਹਿਲੀ ਵਾਰ ਇਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਹੋਇਆ ਜਦ ਇਸ ਕੰਟਰੀ 'ਚ ਆਏ ਆ ਨਾ, ਕਦੀ ਹੈਪਨ ਹੋਈ ਨਹੀਂ ਇਹ, ਹੈ ਨਾ। ਤੇ ਨਾ ਹੀ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਸੀ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਕੀ ਰਾਈਟ ਆ ਕੀ ਨਹੀਂ, ਹੈ ਨਾ, ਕੁਛ ਨਹੀਂ ਪਤਾ ਸੀਗਾ, ਹੈ ਨਾ।
ਓਕੇ,
ਹਾਂਜੀ।
ਸੋ ਫਿਰ ਕੀ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਉਸ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ? ਕਿਤੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਿਰਪਾਨ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਹੱਥ 'ਚ ਰੱਖੀ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ?
ਉਹ ਫਿਰ ਉਦੋਂ ਗੱਡੀ ਵਿੱਚ ਲੈ ਗਿਆ,
ਆਪਣੀ ਗੱਡੀ 'ਚ ਲੈ ਗਿਆ? ਹਾਂਜੀ
ਹਾਂਜੀ, ਆਪਣੀ ਗੱਡੀ ਵਿੱਚ ਲੈ ਗਿਆ। ਉਹ 3-4 ਵਾਰ ਗੱਡੀ ਵਿੱਚ ਗਿਆ, ਬਾਹਰ ਆਇਆ, ਗੱਡੀ 'ਚ ਗਿਆ, ਬਾਹਰ ਆਇਆ ਨਾ, ਰੇਡੀਓ ਸੁਣਦਾ ਸੀਗਾ।
ਉਹ ਮੇਬੀ ਉਹ ਕਿਸ ਨਾਲ ਗੱਲ ਕਰ ਰਿਹਾ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਸੀ?
ਗੱਲ ਕਰਦਾ ਹੋਵੇਗਾ, ਹੈ ਨਾ। ਹਾਂਜੀ, ਤੇ ਬਾਅਦ ਵਿੱਚ ਫਿਰ ਮੈਂ ਸਾਨੇ ਵੀ ਗੱਲ ਕੀਤੀ, ਹੈ ਨਾ, ਕਿ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਰੌਂਗ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਆ। ਫਿਰ ਇਹ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਫੋਨ ਕਰਦਾ ਸੀ, ਮੈਨੂੰ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਹੁਣ ਤੂੰ ਫੋਨ ਆਨਸਰ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੀ ਕਿਸੇ ਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਨਾ। ਇਹਨੇ ਬਹੁਤ ਵਾਰ ਕੀਤਾ ਪਰ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਆਨਸਰ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰਦਾ। ਹਾਂਜੀ, ਫਿਰ ਮੇਰਾ ਫੋਨ ਉਹਨੇ ਫੜ ਲਿਆ, ਫੜ ਲਿਆ ਉਹਨੇ। ਵੈਸੇ ਜਾਣ ਲੱਗਾ ਫਿਰ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਫੋਨ ਫੜਾ ਗਿਆ ਸੀ।
ਨਹੀਂ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਦੱਸ ਰਹੇ ਸੀ ਕਿ ਉਹ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਸੀ ਕਿ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਜਾ ਸਕਦੇ ਆ, ਪਰ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਕਿਰਪਾਨ ਪਿੱਛੇ ਰੱਖਣੀ ਪੈਣੀ।
ਹਾਂਜੀ ਹਾਂ, ਉਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਫਿਰ ਉਹ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਇੱਧਰ ਆਫਿਸ ਸੀਗਾ, ਹੈ ਨਾ, ਲੈਫਟ ਹੈਂਡ ਤੇ ਰਿਹਾ, ਉਹ ਮੇਰੇ ਇੱਧਰ ਹੀ ਰਿਹਾ, ਇੱਕ ਇੱਧਰ ਹੀ ਰਿਹਾ, ਦੋਨੇ ਪਾਸੇ ਕ੍ਰੋਸ ਨਹੀਂ ਕੀਤਾ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ, ਹੈ ਨਾ। ਤਾਂ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਤੇਰੀ ਸ੍ਰੀ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਤੇਰਾ ਨਾਈਫ, ਸ੍ਰੀ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਤੇ ਕੋਲ ਨਹੀਂ ਕੀਤਾ, ਨਾਈਫ ਕਰ ਰਿਹਾ ਸੀ ਨਾ, ਨਾਈਫ ਮੈਂ ਤੇਰੀ ਬੂਟ ਵਿੱਚ ਰੱਖਦਾ ਆ। ਬੂਟ ਆਲਰੇਡੀ ਦੇਖ ਚੁੱਕੇ ਸੀਗੇ, ਖੁੱਲਾ ਸੀਗਾ। ਮੈਂ ਕਿਹਾ ਤੂੰ ਬੂਟ ਵਿੱਚ ਨਹੀਂ ਰੱਖਣਾ, ਤੂੰ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਦੇ, ਮੈਂ ਇਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਪਾਣੀ ਮਿਆਨ ਵਿੱਚ। ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਨਹੀਂ। 2 ਵਾਰੀ ਉਹਨੇ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਆਫਰ ਕੀਤਾ ਮੈਂ ਬੂਟ ਵਿੱਚ ਰੱਖਣ ਲੱਗਾ ਵਾ, ਹੈ ਨਾ, ਤੇ ਮੈਂ ਕਿਹਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਬੂਟ 'ਚ ਨਹੀਂ ਰੱਖਣੀ, ਪਲੀਜ਼ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਦੇ ਦੇ, ਹੈ ਨਾ। ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਤੈਨੂੰ ਨਹੀਂ ਦੇਣੀ, ਜੇ ਤੂੰ ਵੇਅਰ ਕੀਤੀ ਰਸਤੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਫਿਰ ਮੈਂ ਤੈਨੂੰ ਚਾਰਜ ਕਰੂੰਗਾ। ਆਲ ਦਾ ਹੋਮ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਤੂੰ ਬੂਟ ਵਿੱਚ ਰੱਖ ਕੇ ਘਰ ਲੈ ਜਾ, ਹੈ ਨਾ। ਮੈਂ ਕਿਹਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਬੂਟ 'ਚ ਨਹੀਂ ਰੱਖਣੀ ਹੈਗੀ, ਹੈ ਨਾ। ਫਿਰ ਉਹਨੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਰੱਖੀ।
ਤੇ ਉਸ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਉਹ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਛੋੜ ਗਿਆ ਉੱਥੇ ਨਾ?
ਹਾਂਜੀ ਬਾਅਦ ਚ ਫਿਰ ਉਹ ਲਿਖਣ ਲੱਗ ਗਿਆ ਦੁਬਾਰਾ ਫਿਰ ਡੇਟ ਆਫ ਬਰਥ ਐਂਡ ਨੇਮ ਇੱਕ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਟ੍ਰੈਫਿਕ ਕੰਟਰੋਲਰ ਸੀਗਾ ਹਾਂਜੀ ਉਹ 2 ਲਾਈਨਾਂ ਲਿਖ ਕੇ ਉਹਨੇ ਸਾਰਾ ਪੇਜ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਬਾਕੀ ਸੀਗਾ ਉਹਨੇ ਆਪ ਲਿਖ ਲਿਆ ਫਿਰ ਪੇਜ ਟਰਨ ਕਰ ਲਿਆ ਟਰਨ ਪੇਜ ਕਰਕੇ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਮੈਂ ਤੇਰੇ ਨਾਲ ਕੋਈ ਰੂਡ ਸਲੂਕ ਤੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਕੀਤਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਕੀਤਾ ਲਿਖ ਲਿਆ ਤੇ ਮੈਂ ਤੇਰਾ ਹਿੱਪ ਤਾਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਟੱਚ ਕੀਤਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਕੀਤਾ ਉਹਨੇ ਲਿਖ ਲਿਆ ਫਿਰ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਤੂੰ ਕਿਉਂ ਵੇਅਰ ਕਰਦੀ ਆ ਤੂੰ ਸਿੱਖ ਰਿਲੀਜਨ ਆ ਉਹ ਵੀ ਲਿਖ ਲਿਆ ਮੈਂ ਕਿਹਾ ਹਾਂ
ਉਹਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਸੀ ਨਾ
ਹਾਂਜੀ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਗੱਲ ਹੋ ਚੁੱਕੀ ਸੀ ਨਾ ਮੈਂ ਕਿਹਾ ਮੈਂ ਸਿੱਖਿਆ ਮੈਂ ਪਾਉਣੀ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਹਾਂਜੀ ਮੈਂ ਇੱਦਾਂ ਹਾਂਜੀ ਤੇ ਮੈਂ ਦੱਸਿਆ ਮੈਂ ਕਿਹਾ ਮਾਤਾ ਜੀ ਨੇ ਪਾਈ ਹੋਈ ਆ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਰਿਲੀਜਨ ਵਿੱਚ ਸਿਰਫ ਮੈਨ ਪਾ ਸਕਦੇ ਆ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਮੈਂ ਕਿਹਾ ਫਿਰ ਮਾਤਾ ਜੀ ਨੇ ਪਾਈ ਮੈਂ 2 ਵਾਰੀ ਕਿਹਾ ਪਰ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਨਾ ਦੇਖਿਆ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਨਾ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਵੱਲ ਗਏ ਨਹੀਂ ਉਹ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਤੇ ਫਿਰ ਚੌਥੀ ਲਾਈਨ ਉਹਨੇ ਲਿਖ ਲਈ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਇਹ ਸ਼ਾਰਪ ਕਿਉਂ ਆ ਸ੍ਰੀ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਕਿਰਪਾਨ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਨਾਈਫ ਸ਼ਾਰਪ ਕਿਉਂ ਆ ਤਾਂ ਉਸ ਵੇਲੇ ਮੈਂ ਇੰਨੀ ਥੱਕ ਗਈ ਸੀ ਮੈਂ ਕਿਹਾ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਨਹੀਂ ਪਤਾ ਕਿਉਂ ਸ਼ਾਰਪ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਮੈਂ ਕਿਹਾ ਆਈ ਡੋਂਟ ਨੋ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਕੁਛ ਵੀ ਅੱਛਾ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਇੱਥੇ ਸਾਈਨ ਕਰ ਦੇ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਮੇਰੇ ਮੂਹਰੇ ਨੋਟਬੁੱਕ ਕਰਤੀ ਉਹਨੇ ਮੈਂ ਕਿਹਾ ਮੈਂ ਸਾਈਨ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰਨੀ ਇੱਥੇ ਮੈਂ ਕਿਹੜਾ ਪੜ੍ਹਿਆ ਵੀ ਕੀ ਲਿਖਿਆ ਤੂੰ ਉਹਨੇ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਆਫਰ ਨਹੀਂ ਕੀਤਾ ਕਿ ਲੈ ਤੂੰ ਪੜ੍ਹ ਕੇ ਸਾਈਨ ਕਰ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਸਾਈਨ ਕਰ ਮੈਂ ਕਿਹਾ ਸਾਈਨ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰਨੇ ਮੈਂ ਪੜ੍ਹਿਆ ਨਹੀਂ ਤੂੰ ਲਿਖਿਆ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਉੱਥੇ ਰੋਡ ਸਾਈਨ ਸੀਗਾ ਗ੍ਰੀਨ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਤੂੰ ਆ ਤਾਂ ਪੜ੍ਹ ਸਕਦੀ ਆ ਨਾ ਸਾਈਨ ਰੋਡ ਸਾਈਨ ਤਾਂ ਪੜ੍ਹ ਸਕਦੀ ਆ ਨਾ ਮੈਂ ਕਿਹਾ ਮੈਂ ਪੜ੍ਹ ਸਕਦੀ ਆ ਪਰ ਮੈਂ ਸਾਈਨ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰਨੇ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ 30-35 ਮਿੰਟ ਜਾਣੀ ਕਿ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਉੱਥੇ ਨਾ ਰੋਕਿਆ
ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਖਿਆਲ 'ਚ ਹੈਰੈਸਮੈਂਟ ਹੋ ਰਹੀ ਸੀ ਨਾ ਉਸ ਟਾਈਮ ਤੇ
ਹਾਂਜੀ
ਹੈਰੈਸ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਸੀ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ
ਹਾਂਜੀ ਹਾਂਜੀ ਹੈਰਿਸ ਮੀਨਸ ਜਾਨੀ ਕਿ
ਕਿਸੇ ਨੇ ਤੰਗ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਸੀ
ਤੰਗ ਕੀਤੇ ਸੀ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਤੰਗ
ਉੱਚੀ ਬੋਲ ਰਹੇ ਸੀ
ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਤੰਗ
ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਤੰਗ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਸੀ
ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਤੰਗ ਕੀਤਾ
ਕੋਈ ਚੀਜ਼ ਲੱਭ ਰਹੇ ਸੀ ਕੋਈ ਚੀਜ਼ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਬਲੇਮ ਕਰਨ ਤੋਂ
ਹਾਂਜੀ ਤਾਂ ਹੀ ਮੈਂ ਡਰਦੀ ਸੀ ਮੈਂ ਕਿਹਾ ਪਤਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਅੱਜ ਕੀ ਕਰਨਾ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਹਾਂਜੀ ਡਰੀ ਵੀ ਮੈਂ ਤਾਂ ਹੀ ਸੀ ਨਾ ਜੇ ਉਹ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਹੀ ਗੱਡੀ ਰੋਕ ਕੇ ਕਹਿ ਦਿੰਦਾ ਵੀ ਮਿਸ ਤੂੰ ਆਪਣੀ ਗੱਡੀ ਖੜੀ ਕਰ ਮੈਂ ਚੈੱਕ ਕਰਨੀ ਹੈ ਹਨਾ ਕੋਈ ਗੱਲ ਨਹੀਂ ਸੀ ਹਨਾ ਉਹਨੇ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਹੀ ਡਰਾ ਦਿੱਤਾ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਐਂਡ ਤੱਕ ਉਹ ਡਰਾਈ ਗਏ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਹਾਂ ਗੱਲ ਮੇਰੀ ਸੁਣੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਕੋਈ ਵੀ ਹੈ ਨਾ
ਸੋ ਕਿਰਪਾਨ ਉਹ ਲੈ ਗਏ ਨਾ ਨਾਲ
ਤੇ ਫਿਰ ਉਹ ਹਾਂਜੀ ਜਾਣ ਲੱਗੇ ਫਿਰ ਉਹ ਹੱਸ ਕੇ ਏਦਾਂ ਬਾਹਾਂ ਵੇਵ ਕਰਕੇ
ਕਿ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਗੱਡੀ ਦੀ ਸਾਈਡ ਸੀ ਉਹ ਲੰਘ ਕੇ ਉਹ ਤੇ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਵੇਵ ਕਰਕੇ
ਹਾਂਜੀ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਗੱਡੀ ਮੋਰੇ ਸੀਗੀ ਤੇ ਮੈਂ ਫਿਰ ਆਪਣੀ ਗੱਡੀ ਘੁੰਮ
ਕੇ ਕਿਰਪਾਨ ਲੈ ਕੇ
ਵੇਵ ਕਰਕੇ
ਉਹਨਾਂ ਹੱਥ ਕਿਰਪਾਨ ਸੀ
ਹਾਂਜੀ 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 ਬਾਏ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਤੇ ਉਦੋਂ
ਇਵਨ ਉਸ ਟਾਈਮ ਤੇ ਡਿਸਰੈਸਪੈਕਟ ਸ਼ੋ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਸੀ ਕਿਰਪਾਨ ਨੂੰ ਵੀ
ਹਾਂਜੀ 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 ਤੇ ਉਸ ਤੋਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਮੈਂ ਉਹਨੂੰ 5 ਮਿੰਟ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਪੁੱਛਿਆ ਸੀ ਗ੍ਰੀਨਿਸ਼ ਆਫਿਸਰ ਨੂੰ ਮੈਂ ਕਿਹਾ ਆਪਣਾ ਨੇਮ ਨੰਬਰ ਦੇਖ ਕੇ ਜਾ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਤੇ ਉਹਨੇ ਨਾ ਹਾਂ ਕਿਹਾ ਨਾ ਕਿਹਾ ਕੋਈ ਆਨਸਰ ਨਹੀਂ ਕੀਤਾ ਉਹਨੇ ਮੇਰੀ ਗੱਲ ਦਾ ਹਾਂਜੀ ਉਸ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਫਿਰ ਉਹ ਨੋਟ ਲਿਖਿਆ ਨੋਟਬੁੱਕ ਤੇ
ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਕਿੰਨੇ ਸਾਲ ਦੇ ਲੱਗਦੇ ਸੀ ਮੁੰਡੇ ਸੀ ਕਿ
ਨਹੀਂ ਜੀ 40-50 ਹਾਂ ਇੱਕ ਤਾਂ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਟ੍ਰੈਫਿਕ ਵਾਲਾ ਸੀ ਉਹ ਤੇ ਸੀਗਾ 50 ਤੋਂ ਉੱਪਰ ਸੀਗਾ ਹਾਂਜੀ ਦੂਸਰਾ ਵੀ 40 ਤੋਂ ਉੱਪਰ ਹੋਊਗਾ ਹਾਂਜੀ ਅਰਾਊਂਡ 40 ਹਾਂਜੀ ਹਾਂਜੀ
Okay, Chief, thank you, Chief, for that.
Hanji.
Okay, tell us a little bit about, you know what's happened since, right? Give us a rundown on what's happened since that they took the Kirpan. I think within 2-3 days, certain things happened, didn't they?
So on the night of the incident, on Friday night, we got in touch with the Gurdwara and the local councillor. And we went with the councillor to the police station to try to make the complaint, register the complaint, and also request for the Kirpan to be returned immediately. This was at Plumstead Police Station, which is the local station near the incident. How were they when you met them? Was it difficult? As you can imagine, typical. Not interested. Even though we had the councillor with us, they afforded us time to speak to them and go through it, but they could not really give us any information. Claiming that the traffic officers are on a different system, we can't contact them, we don't know where the Kirpan is. So we gave up, and next morning, Saturday morning, we went back again. We took Mujindabal Kaur from...
Same police station? Same
police station, Plumstead. Okay. We took Banji Mujindabal Kaur from United Sikhs with us, arrived there quite early, and then attempted to make the formal complaint. It took us an hour or so to actually get that started. We actually had to call the local MP as well, Clive Efford, to complain that the police were not taking us seriously and not allowing us to actually register the complaint. Okay. So after about an hour, they called in an inspector from another station to sit with us and go through the complaint.
Right.
So at that point, Mum spent hour and a half going through in detail registering what had happened, and that was on Saturday, the day after the event. And then we spent Saturday and Sunday contacting, people in authority, councillors, local MP.
So far it's now 4 days after the event, right? 3 days?
No, this is a week. This is day 8, day 9.
Day 9. Okay, yeah. So day 9. No one's offered any help to your mum or anything in terms of there's been no communication?
No, there has. So on the Monday following the event, 3 days later, the commander of Greenwich Borough Police sort of said that they'll investigate immediately, locate the Kirpan. A couple of days later, they located the Kirpan and offered to bring it to us. So the deputy borough commander came to our house, met Mum, returned the Kirpan, apologised profusely. We said we're not accepting the apology. Thank you for bringing the Kirpan, but we're not accepting.
How much time did he spend with you?
Mum, कितना time officer ने spend कितना सीगा करे?
Half hour.
So about half an hour, and he was, went through the incident, was apologetic. So then we then insisted we're taking the complaint forward. There was a meeting at the police station a couple of days ago where local council and Gurdwara Pradhan, reinforced that we want something done.
At this stage, have you actually seen those guys again? Those particular officers?
No, we've had no word from.
They're still loose on the streets, are they?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. In theory. Okay. So you got it back. You got a verbal apology.
Verbal apology from the commanding officers, and our point is we want the complaints seen through, and the officers that actually did the carried this out, for them to apologise and for them to have some sort of disciplinary action.
Absolutely. Yeah. What do you feel do you think it should be? They come around the house, or they get a bit more aware? What would you want out of it?
I mean, we've had various suggestions from people as to what would be something which would go some ways to make amends. Some suggested to make them come to the Gurdwara and apologise to the Sangat. But to be honest, we're more interested in, having them disciplined so they know for next time that what they did was wrong, and they can't just expect to get away with treating members of the public like that, thinking that people won't complain and won't bring them to book. And also for lessons to be learned more generally. Okay. By the police, and which I think others here may speak more about. Right.
Let me thank you for that. I really appreciate it. Let me switch to Dr. Amarjit Kaur, second. Thanks for coming on the show. Punjabi भी बोल सकते, English भी बोल सकते, whatever you feel.
वाहिगुरू खालसा वाहिगुरू की फतेह.
Seriously, apologies for the president not being here for SGSS, but keep on the नाम
साढ़े गुरुद्वारे दी president है ने सरदार निर्मल सिंह ख्याली, and general secretary है ने सरदार आत्मा सिंह कंग. Unfortunately, they both committed, but Atma Singh wasn't very well today.
Oh, okay.
So Nirmal Singh Viji has sent his apology, very sincere apology. He got to be somewhere else.
Okay, no problem.
So I'm here from.
Now, very recently, we had a discussion about this before.
Yeah.
Recently, one of the commanders came, didn't he, to the Gurdwara?
He did. He came to the Gurdwara.
You
Atma Singh took. I wasn't there that day.
Okay.
But Atma Singh ने उन्होंने सारा दिखाया. अपने दस्या भी what is Gurdwara, how do we deal with the people.
किन्हीं बुलाते हैं, हर साल बुलाते हैं.
नहीं जी, it's not a question of us. ਜਦੋਂ भी कोई chance ਹੁੰਦਾ है.
You give the same thing every time, is it like this is
not really, yeah, just walk around and just see.
So you get the same thing.
What the language is, what the religion is.
Yeah.
Things like that, yes.
Okay. You don't talk about any political issues that are happening or any local community issues that are happening. It's more education.
Community safety, of course, we talk about it because they are in charge of community as well. Right. And we are very fortunate to have Judge Sandhu, who is inspector. He is in charge of community safety, and he has been on forefront of this issue as well.
Right. Okay. So, do they ever volunteer to come, or you ask them to come?
We ask them to come.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you haven't had a phone call saying, "Hey, I fancy coming because it's my duty."
That was the suggestion when we had a meeting about this issue this week, and Nirmal Singh Viji had 3 sort of demands or requests to say.
Yeah.
One was it should be looked at it properly, what has happened.
Okay. So investigation into this particular episode, right?
Yeah.
Right.
And the other thing, most important, was that he invited people. We were concerned that newly trained people perhaps don't understand or don't sort of think about it, what our religion is.
But you see, it's interesting that that were involved, they were 50 plus. Now, are they new recruits or are they established people?
No, established people nu bhi bulaya. Unna nu bhi bulaya. I didn't know at that time, but now I know.
Asking a question, do you know if they were established people or are they new recruits? Or do we not know at this stage?
I didn't know at that stage.
No, we don't. Do we know?
We know that they're at least 10 years service.
Okay, so yeah.
But this was actually
they've had at least 10 years service.
The questions were asked to commander,
right?
And we offered to actually play a role. If they want some sort of training given about our religion, I'll be more than happy to do it.
Okay.
And the President said he will be happy to do it.
Okay,
and they are welcome. They did say we will do it.
And on the reaction keys, what do they want? Did they say, yeah, that's great,
When we had
can't
meeting,
wait to come next week, when's the first class?
they didn't mention anything at all, because at this present moment, special investigation is going on.
Yeah, but you see, the thing is, with respect to the great work that you do and the communication that you do year on year, is there not like an initiative? Is there not like a program? Because you can almost do like two separate things. One is deal with the incident, and the second one is stop the incident from happening again. You don't have to wait for an investigation to happen before you do a bunch of training. I know you had to identify what the critical problems were, but why that actually happened.
Training.
But any kind of education can still happen in parallel, can't it?
Absolutely. That's what we have offered, and they haven't come back to us when we should start.
And when did you ask them that?
Same time when we had the meeting.
Which was?
Last Friday.
Okay, so now...
Only 2 days.
2 days.
And it's Saturday,
okay.
Sunday.
Right, so let's give them a break. Let's give them a break. Give them
they will
it's
come.
the weekend. Right?
Definitely.
Okay.
We have going to arrange this.
Right.
And that will be way forward.
Okay.
But we are talking about, if we're talking about the incidents, there's a little bit difficult of this to say.
Right.
What will be the outcome?
Okay.
Because it will take 4 weeks. They have given us 4 weeks, because they have to give some sort of...
Yeah, but see, I'll just go back to my point. It's not about the fact that it's 4 weeks that we got to wait for an outcome.
No.
You know, if we talk to Baji here on the end, diversity training has been going for years, in the 70s and 80s, right? And these guys like 10 years plus. Why is there something that's not working, or is it mischievousness? Is it something that they felt that they really want to get BBG on it because they were feeling really vicious that day? I'm not saying the police are. They're our guardians. They do outstanding work. They have a very difficult job. Why? You know, we can do the why, right? I always talk about this cause and effect. We can find out what the cause and effect was in parallel to saying, let's stop these guys from doing it again, right? Or other people who have a similar kind of outlook, stop them from doing it again. Where do they know to need to do the training again or something?
That's the reason why we have asked them. We have offered our services to the police to come and see, and we will train you. And we also offered that if you want to come to us, we will do it. If you want us to come to your staff, we will do it.
Very good.
So that's the way forward.
And what about the connection with the council? Do you think the council has a role to play?
They have a very big role to play, particularly this time. It's Olympics time.
Yeah.
My first email when I sent to leader of the council and chief executive called me, and we had a good discussion on the telephone.
Right.
This is the day when meeting was going to take place, and they were quite concerned about it, why this has happened, because normally, you know, one thinks that shouldn't happen in this stone age, like we mentioned earlier on, but it has happened. It needs to be dealt with. So that's why Mr. Sandhu, who is a community safety officer from the police point of view, has been present all the time, and he came to the Gurdwara as well to tell the sort of congregation what we were doing and what they were doing.
Okay. Let's switch to thank you very much, appreciate that. Switch to so you've been involved, you've done some nice things to try and support the family, to try and get them to return the Kirpan first of all, right? In your history, because you've done a lot of, you know, outstanding work, I think there's some other work that you do, there are other parts that do work in the chaplaincy side and all kinds of other areas, outreach projects. So education, remember that the old Labour Party motto, education, 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 right? So in your view, the education, is it really making a difference?
I think what we need to first of all recognize is that this country is very different from the rest of Europe as far as the wearing of Kirpan is concerned. I personally had an incident, I think it was 2005, in Brussels as I was trying to board the Eurostar back to the UK.
Right.
And when I was confronted with the fact that I was going to have to remove my Kirpan, or I will not be allowed on the train, and to put it into my bag, I thought I would take this as an advantage to educate them about the Kirpan, because I knew that they would not allow the Kirpan. And here I had an officer who was challenging me. So I missed my train in order to use that as an exercise to educate. When I said to him, he kept referring to it as a knife. So I thought, that's my first challenge. How do I make him use the word Kirpan? So we got friendly in the sense I said to him, I'm happy to miss my train. I understand that you are having to deal with the law as you know it, but I'd like you to know what I'm wearing is a Kirpan. So he said, I see it all the time. We have thousands of them in our lockup. So then it dawned on me that I'm not the first one, and I will not be the first one, who would be losing the Kirpan to the custody of the police officer, who would then lock it up somewhere, and today thousands of Kirpans lie in police custody somewhere. When I heard Penji's experience, it immediately reminded me of a situation where I had no right to wear a Kirpan, and yet the police officer said, I know the Kirpan, but my hands are tied, I can't allow you to wear it. You can carry a Swiss knife. He told me that.
Okay.
So Penji stood up for herself, and that was exemplary. The situation was very tricky for her. She herself admitted that if she wasn't so nervous, she wouldn't have allowed them to touch her body. It
doesn't help when somebody's shouting in your face, does it?
Absolutely. Yeah. And they actually, I would say they assaulted her. They went for her body, pulled up her top, and took the Kirpan out of the mian, which is a scabbard.
Just on this particular incident, you know that उन्होंने पूछा कि form sign कर दो कि मैं hip नहीं touch करता.
Absolutely.
What's your issue? What's your
They were trying to, at that point, hoping that she was not an educated lady, hoping that she wouldn't understand her rights, would sign off anything that they'd done wrong, because they had they specifically avert those things that they think they were going to be caught up with, i.e. touching her, i.e. not knowing that it's religious, i.e. asking her, are you satisfied that we were not rude? Why would you say that in a statement from a police notebook?
Right, okay.
So coming back to the issue, so Penji has acted in a way that I wish no other woman would have to do, or no other Sikh person, no other person of religion would have to do when dealing with their articles of faith.
Right.
So as far as United Sikhs is concerned, yes, we went with the family the next day. They've done a great job on their own doing this, taking this case forward. But when we went to register the complaint the next day, we had two wonderful officers who yet came belatedly, as Gurjeet Virji said. They had asked us to go away. They said, we've had an incident last night, and the custody officer or the station officer was assaulted by one of the persons he was handling, and therefore our hands are full today. And I had come all the way from West London to South London, and I was not going to take that lightly. And I said, are you telling me in a borough which is going to handle the Olympics, one incident overnight, and you can't handle a second complaint? At which point they said, why don't you go and make a complaint to the Police Complaints Authority, which is an administrative procedure? I said, this is a victim of a crime. She has not come to complain about police officers just being rude or whatever. She's complaining about the conduct of a police officer, which amounts to an assault. So are you saying you are turning away a victim of a crime? At which point I gestured to Virji that we should go and contact the MP. It was a Saturday, so it's not going to be easy. So we went off to make those connections. When we came back, barely 10 minutes later, Penji came to us and said, apparently the sergeant and an inspector from another station is coming over. So that worked. So these are lessons we want your viewers to understand. You have to stand up for it, and then you have to make sure you see it to the end. But it shouldn't have to happen. I think that's what we are having this show about.
Right.
The two issues that are flagged up are, one is, were the officers ignorant of the law which recognizes the Kirpan as being a valid defense for a Sikh who is a practicing Sikh in an Amritdhari to wear a Kirpan. Were they ignorant? If they were ignorant, at some point they became aware that she was wearing a Kirpan she's allowed to wear, even though they tried to suggest it's only for men.
That's right, yeah.
And then at the third point, when Penji suggested that her mum, who's 80 years old, was wearing a Kirpan and sitting in the car and wearing it revealed, she actually pointed out to the police officers, they were not interested in taking off her Kirpan, which suggests that they recognized, at least at that stage, that she hadn't broken any law.
Okay.
Then why did they take the Kirpan away from her? That raises very serious questions of policing, that they've taken away from a member of the public whom they're supposed to protect an article that belonged to her, that they must have been satisfied that she has a legitimate reason to wear, at least at that point. They took it away, and then when we went to retrieve it the next day, and I hate to use the word retrieve, but to reclaim it, because Penji says it's a part of my body. Would you leave your hand behind in the property store of the police station and said, we'll get it when you have found it? So she says, I'm not leaving without my Kirpan. And the officers that had dealt with her complaint the next day, to their credit, were wonderfully nice people, but they hadn't heard of the Kirpan. And that was a sergeant who very nicely said, you know what, I haven't heard of the Kirpan. So we started discussing, is it a training issue? No doubt Harjinder Virji will take us through that, as to why officers today can claim they haven't heard of the Kirpan. If you think that those two that dealt with Panji were rogue officers, then the officers at the suite who were taking her statement the next day, wonderful as they were, and no complaints about their nature, were not aware of the Kirpan. So the ignorance of the Kirpan, is that an institutional training issue which may be there on paper, but no one is bothering because it's the most boring module perhaps, because it's diversity, or they're sleeping through it and they like to do some firearms training instead? Or was that a rogue incident where officers who had stopped her thinking they might be able to, whatever, get some credit somewhere, failed to pick up a criminal, and whatever came over them, they were dealing with two women who had no reason to put any fear in the police officer that they were criminals, that they had to deal with them in a particular way. The other thing that we're concerned about as an organization that have to deal with this repeatedly is there's apparently no particular protocol in the policing system in handling articles of faith if that article of faith is not the object of a crime, which means it's not an exhibit. If it's an exhibit, yes. If it's been used in a criminal way, then it's not a Kirpan at that point, I would say. But if, as we saw, a Kirpan was taken away from her for rogue reasons, if there was a protocol in place, then the police officers, as they are required to handle anything else they take away from a person, would have been required to put the Kirpan in a different place, different way. We wouldn't have had to wait from the 6th of July to the 12th of July.
Yeah, it's a long time.
And so these are the two issues we would be taking forward with the police along the
do you think that
complaint.
police officers do have enough understanding of the different the example that you gave in terms of dimensions of the law, the impact of their actions, or they just think they can just do whatever they want? Is it open season because of ignorance, or is it open season because they can interpret the law any way they want to?
To be fair to the police, we're not talking of the incidents when we are not harassed by them. We're talking of the incidents when we are. So whether these are isolated or whether their ignorance is common.
Yeah.
Because I've had a case before, Vijay.
Manipulatory, because you can plead ignorance because you can manipulate it to your benefit, or you can be ignorant because you genuinely are ignorant and you do not know what it is that you're dealing with. But then again, let's go to the incident. It's like when you talk to somebody and you pull them over, right? There's got to be demeans. There's got to be respect of how to talk to somebody rather than shout at their faces and really make them feel, like almost to a situation where they become nervous and they drop a bit of paper and they start, getting a bit aggressive just because a tiny piece of paper dropped on the floor,
Precisely. Yeah. I'm sure your viewers would be ringing in to say it happened to me too.
Right.
I know of another incident a few years ago in the Kent area. The Sikh gentleman in question did not press on like Panji has, which involved the Kirpan, and where he was wearing it, and he was stopped, and it amounted to him being charged for carrying it. So
Right.
I wouldn't say these are isolated, but at the same time, we only know of the incidents where it goes wrong.
Okay.
So we wait to hear from Harjinder what training there might be.
Let's get Harjinder. Thanks for being patient on the show. You've heard a lot of the
Thank
points.
you very much.
We'll give you my attempt to summarise what's been going on so far for the viewers who may have just tuned in as well.
Firstly, Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Having listened to Panji Amarjit and then Panji Manjinder Kaur, the first question arises: were these officers under some sort of stress?
Right. Okay.
Were they overworked? Were they trying to abuse their authority?
Okay.
These are the questions that we need to look into. Now, I'm not citing police officers, but these are the issues that will be looked at.
Right.
And before I go any further, can I make it very clear that I'm not representing the Metropolitan Police?
Fine,
I'm a retired support
freelance
officer from the Metropolitan Police, and I was head of one of the diversity units.
Okay.
I was involved also delivering diversity lectures at the Hendon College to new recruits. In the early 2000, there was a program called the Community Race Relation Rollout for all the boroughs to explain to all officers different community issues, starting from the slavery days up to the present time, how the immigration came into this country, the background of different people. We had police officers attending those classes. I was one of the tutors there. We had members of the community also participating, making sure that the training that was being delivered was fair, and police officers were given multiple choice questions after the training to make sure that they understood what was told to them about the community. From the last 10 years, Metropolitan Police has progressed leaps and bounds ahead in diversity in comparison to any other organisation. They come under the Home Office Directive as far as diversity training is concerned. The different police forces also follow the same code, but Metropolitan Police is way ahead. Now, I first started at the Hounslow Borough, and I remember taking police officers to the Gurdwara and explaining them what is involved, what the symbols are. In 2005, they launched a booklet for the police officers. It had sections of each and every community and about their culture, their tradition, and their practices. I was part of the Sikh Staff Association, and I wrote the Sikhism bit in that booklet. The commissioner in post at the time was Lord Stevens, who I went and saw him collectively from the Sikh Association perspective, and we put the suggestion or the proposal that we need to have this staff association and make the Metropolitan Police aware of the Sikh issues and concerns, and especially the religious symbols. He very, very accommodating. He was very welcoming us, and he said yes, that's fine, and even arranged a small budget to put this thing into practice and to set up the staff association. We also have the dress code in the Metropolitan Police, which is mandatory, and each and every officer is bound to read that. In the code, it states very clearly that the police officers male officers and female officers can wear the kirpan in uniform on duty.
Right.
So I don't understand how these officers ignored this. Their demeanour raises a lot of questions.
I was going to say that to you, but
Yeah.
is there not a general training? I mean, it must be part of Hendon's
I'm
normal
coming to
training,
that. I'm
which
coming
is
to
like,
that.
how do you talk to somebody?
I'm coming
how do you
to
make
that.
them feel really comfortable?
Yes.
You know.
The Diversity Directorate was especially set for arranging the diversity training for police officers and for support staff. Like I said, I have personally delivered the lectures on diversity, making officers aware, especially the new recruits. Every now and then, the police officers are required to do a online computerized training,
Okay.
again, which is multiple choice questions.
Right.
And I've done that myself. There is a question there: what is your understanding of the kirpan?
Okay.
Who is supposed to carry it? Yeah, these are the questions which the officers are supposed to know.
Is it like in the medical industry where sometimes you have to do? There's a course in the medical industry called Safeguarding Adults, Safeguarding Children, and compliance-wise, you have to do it once a year, right? So you have to do do
Yes,
it.
yes.
It's in order if there's any changes in the legal side, or it just the number of times I go first aid training and I forget first aid training, I have to go back and do first aid training again, or they've improved the techniques. Then, in the same way, is this course
Very much so,
mandatory
very
every
much
year?
so.
They've got to do it. They've got
Very
to tick the
much
box.
so.
They've done it.
Very much so.
It's on their
yes.
appraisal.
Very much so.
Yeah?
Yes, it is. However,
Can they not remember the answers from last year and do them again and ignore what the content is?
no, because they change them
Randomised
slightly.
questions. No,
so-
no. What I meant was, I mean, there's a, and don't take this in a negative way. I meant it in a positive way, which is, you can get taught a bunch of skills, right, and you can learn them verbatim, but you don't really believe in them. You're not really going to practice them, right? There's something about compliance and something about really believing in the fact that it makes a difference to my job when I go out there and do it.
You're very right. There is an element of that. Yeah, a plus.
Yeah, which is
When
kind
the-
of balanced
when
against
the-
your personal prejudice. Maybe?
When the appraisal,
You know?
the yearly appraisal comes out,
Right.
there is a section on diversity. They do check on that.
Right.
And the
Will they go like, you've done the test, that's good, let's tick that box, or do they go,
No,
give
no.
me an example of where you demonstrated your...
Exactly. They have to provide an example.
Okay.
They have to provide the evidence where where they've done that.
Right.
From last year, when the equality law was introduced, the Metropolitan Police has a directive from the Home Office. It's called the Equality Service for the Equality Scheme for the Police Service.
Nice.
Now, every borough commander is required to fill in that that documentation. It's a kind of a tool, and he has to justify with the evidence that how and where the borough has lacked in performance.
Right.
It's a measurement tool for their performance and their efficiency. I'm pretty sure this sort of incident will be reflected in that if the...
What's your view, though, about, for example, let's go back to Dr. Jagir Kaur's, very nice suggestion to the superintendent, was it, who came? Hey, we're prepared to do some training for you. Name the date and the time and the place. We'll turn up and we'll do it. And the reaction was, well, we probably need to do a bit of investigation. But, there's something that they can do now. Is that right?
Can I correct you there? It wasn't the reaction for the training. That was, they were doing the investigation. The training was, yes, we will look into that.
Okay. No, but your suggestion was that you're prepared to name the time,
Yes, we
the
will
time
do
and the
it.
place,
Yeah.
right?
But he couldn't give there and then answer.
I'm sure he
For
couldn't.
the training.
But the follow-up...
But they agreed. They agreed with that.
That is a good idea.
Yeah.
But let's come back to Harjinder Singh again.
Thank you.
Then, so where's the cut-off between, you've got an approach, you've got a strategy, you've got training schemes, you've got this diversity jazz that takes place, and then you've got somebody in the community, somebody from the temple saying, hey, we can add on to that. Do they say, well, actually, this is a good opportunity, maybe we'll link them both together?
I think
there's been an incident, maybe we need to change course slightly where we can bring this particular example in. How fresh are these courses? How do they keep everything up to date,
Like I said earlier on, there is the diversity director which has the responsibility to make sure the appropriate training is delivered, and where it lacks, they will then pick it up.
Okay. Every 6 months they do a review of the syllabus?
It's not every 6 months, I think it's every yearly.
Okay. So you've got to wait for a year of things to go wrong before you actually improve it?
No, if there is a wrong, they will then look into it.
Okay.
Like I mentioned to Gurjit earlier on, that I forwarded the copy of that email he sent me to the Diversity Directorate.
Okay.
There are 9 diversity advisors who have been employed to advise and guide the different boroughs on the religious issues. I'm pretty sure this will be taken by that.
But
going back
religious
to
issues, you mean like an incident, or you mean religious issues about something that's that they need to be aware of?
both.
Okay.
Both. Like your name, Jagir Kaur mentioned that they've offered to give the training. I'm pretty sure the borough commander is very careful and particular about not committing himself until he's consulted the proper channels, because there are very bureaucratic practices in the Met.
Right.
When I say bureaucratic, there are set rules that they have to follow before they can commit themselves.
Oh, yeah, sure,
I think that's
and
what...
also it's got to be
exactly.
compliant to your training or whatever it is. Cause,
the training has to be up to their standards and meet their criteria. Probably that's what he wants to check, and then come back and say, yes, we will be going ahead with it.
But you see, the thing is, it was quite interesting. You come back to Majinder and that this isn't a one-off situation that happened. It's happened before, and I don't know when that case was. We can't cite it in terms of the exact details. But if there are, quote, hundreds of Qurbans sitting in cupboards somewhere, then does that mean that there's a problem?
We as a community, as a Sikh community, need to educate the Metropolitan Police how to handle the religious articles.
Yeah, but they've been doing it for 20 years. So what's going wrong?
Everything goes in the property store. It does not get differentiated. For the police, it's property.
No, I didn't mean it that way. I meant I'm talking about specifically training. If you've been doing great work, and you have, because I have to say, they are more educated today. Police are more educated, and they've got not necessarily a Sikh religion. They've got Hindus and Muslims and other religious or people to kind of have to manage as well. So it's not just Sikhs alone, So So you had to hand it to the police in a positive way, that they have all this diversity that they've got to take care of, right? My point is that it's not like, you know, yesterday that the Sikhs suddenly came out of a plane and they, you know, suddenly became part of a community. Training has been going on for years and years. Is there something wrong here, or is there something that is the system breaking down?
One
or
aspect.
There's these rogue individuals floating around doing what they feel like.
One aspect which I like to make very clear, having worked for about 20 odd years with the police,
right?
Our particular community is very reluctant to come forward with any incidents.
Okay, good point.
Right?
Yeah.
They think it's trivial. Let it go. They think it's trivial, so I won't bother.
Right.
The more incidents that are reported, the better statistics comes for the police.
Right. Good point.
And they accordingly then deal with the situation, whether it's a burglary or a crime of that nature. The stats will tell them where to deploy the police officers or where to make arrangements.
Right.
If we don't report the incidents,
right,
whether no matter how trivial they are, right, then
then
unfortunately
the issue becomes hidden, right?
Yes,
it stays hidden.
Yes.
Let me pass to Harjinder Kaur.
For example, one quick,
sure.
one quick point. For example, most of us, or I don't know about most of us, but what I've experienced is that I'm okay, Jack. So why should I bother and report?
Right.
You see. This is very common, and I'm very sad to say that.
Right.
Very quickly, I must say that I mentioned it to Gurjeet as well. There are independent advisory groups amongst the boroughs. I would highly encourage our members of the community to join them and attend their meetings and discuss the issues with the borough commander.
That's a good suggestion.
I do that myself.
Yeah, what we'll do is we will conclude on what we could do. Thank you very much for coming in, by the way.
Thank you very much.
Really appreciate it, and all the hard work that you continue to do. Now, a couple of things that we've got to do before we close the show off.
Yes.
Sensitivity training, I think, is you just kind of hinted
yes,
at that.
I think
maybe there's something missing there.
You gave the solution.
Yeah.
You cannot convince a man against his will.
Right.
If you tell a police officer these people are entitled to carry this, but if he hasn't been sensitized about the whys through a nice presentation at the Gurdwara, for example, but he's been told in a textbook it's his right, or it's his defense.
Or an e-learning thing or something.
Yeah, on an e-learning thing, that this is his defense. Then if he's not convinced, he's going to treat a member of the public the way they treated Penji.
Right.
So I think the word diversity training needs to be turned to sensitivity training. That's what they do across the pond in the States. Second of all, we've got the Olympics upon us. The Kirpan is allowed at the Olympics and Paralympics. We haven't decided as an organization, as a community, to publicize it because then we have all those people who say, why have the Sikhs been allowed to wear Kirpan?
Right.
But I'd like to take this opportunity through the Sikh channel to tell the public that they should, if they are attending any of the Paralympics or Olympics events, they should carry the letter from Sebastian Coe that has been written to confirm that Sikhs can carry a Kirpan.
Is that on your website?
Yes, you can write to us at United Sikhs at any of the email addresses on our website, or you can even contact the Sikh Federation who had procured that letter from Sebastian Coe.
Nice.
And you should carry it on you, because you will meet hundreds and thousands of people who have recently been recruited by 4G or not, who would not be aware about the right to wear the Kirpan at the Olympics. So I would like to take the opportunity to make sure. Absolutely, yeah. So do not wait for someone to know that you have a right. Please carry that piece of paper. Do contact organizations in the UK who would be able to assist you, but we wish you all the best.
And Gurjeet, thank you very much for coming. There was some communication, wasn't there? You showed me a message earlier on, didn't you, on your phone?
From the police?
Yeah.
They just it was a formal acknowledgement that the complaint has been registered and passed on to the relevant complaints department within the Metropolitan Police.
Okay, right.
So we await the outcome of that before deciding upon next steps.
We were all the way to the interview. BG ਨਾਲ ਗੱਲ ਨਹੀਂ ਕੀਤੀ actually. ਮਾਤਾ ਜੀ ਨਾਲ.
ਮੈਂ ਤਾਂ ਕਰਨੀ ਨਹੀਂ। ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ, ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ।
Thank you, Ji. Okay, so this is the end of the show effectively. Just want to do a quick round-up and summary of what we've been talking about, some of the critical things I think that have been exposed critical because, in my view, is it a sense of ignorance or is it a lack of education? But even down to the basic level, a bit of respect when it comes to sensitivity and dealing with everyday people. And you know, then there's some good people around. You know, there are people that are great defenders of the faith in terms of the legal side, as well as, you know, standing up. You know, BBG has stood up for that with the support of her son, Gurmit. And it's really nice that Mataji was here as well. She was actually involved in the incident. Good that we had Dr. Jagir Kaur offering suggestions from the Gurdwara to say maybe it's a good idea to connect with the police and say, hey, here's a bunch of training you can do, name the time and the place. But bureaucracy has it that they probably have to go back and check their tick lists to find out if it is appropriate or if it complies with their particular syllabus. And it was good to have Harjinder Singh here today to tell us all the work that's been going on. And he raised a really good point that if it does happen to you, then raise the point, bring it up, go and complain about it. Obviously it depends on the situation. Be clear about what actually happened and go away and try and seek that justice, you know? I mean, you have to think at the end of the day, that's one of the things that Sikhs are really known for in terms of defending others, defending the defenceless. And if you find yourself in a situation where you know what is the truth and what is correct and what is the reason for the Kirpan that we have, and there's a lack of education, or the education is there but they're choosing not to actually follow through, then it's up to you to go and actually pursue a justice situation. And for those individuals that have really done that bit of negativity to somebody and maybe waved as they drove off and felt good about it, ultimately justice is going to come to them, because we're going to follow them and we're going to find out who they are, and we're not necessarily going to correct their situation in terms of not making sure they don't do it again. But to other people who have been in a situation where they felt like doing it, they'll think twice before they do it. Harjinder, you wanted to say one thing?
Yeah, sorry, just one point. I must emphasize the point that the old police is now changed. When I say it's changed, he wants the community to tell them how they want to be policed, not that they want how they want to police the community. It's the other way around.
Well,
now.
maybe when they come to the Gurdwara and
Yes.
they're invited to come to the Gurdwara, they can offer that suggestion and say, maybe, you know, we need to be more communicative and talk to each other
It's in their
it's a two-way street,
statement of purpose now. This is the new statement of purpose.
Okay. Well, next time I see a superintendent at the Gurdwara saying something, maybe I'll put my hand up and say, hey, do you want some suggestions? And if he says, thanks very much, sit down, then I'll know.
You can challenge him on that.
Yeah,
Say,
absolutely.
well, this is the police now
This is the
who
police
wants
now.
to ask the community how they want to be policed,
Absolutely.
not police.
But then again,
policing
you
the
see, part of it
community.
is to have really good suggestions as well from their perspective. Okay, see,
Thank
that's
you
it.
very much.
Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Today is we have Amarjit Kaur, who is a legal director of United Sikhs, and really impressed with the organisation. They do some tremendous work. They do tremendous charity activities, and if you get an opportunity, you should go to unitedsikhs.org and really check out the website and see the outstanding initiatives that are taking place. And she will be telling us about basically what we can do going forward. And this particular episode that took place, I'm not going to steal anyone's thunder here. When you do get to hear it, you'll be hearing it in Punjabi. It's very upsetting, and you'll say, in this day and age, in 2012, when people have been in this country for so many years, we still have a level of ignorance from a particular group of society that are supposed to be protecting us, i.e. the police. We also have with us Jagir Kaur Sikhan, Dr. Jagir Kaur Sikhan, who is actually from Greenwich Council, but she's not representing Greenwich Council today. She's actually here representing the Gurdwaras. Right? There is, when we do get a chance to talk to her, there's apologies from the President, I believe, yeah? But if you're there, wherever you are, President, I'm sure you're watching. I mentioned before Mother Dalit Kaur, and on the end, last but not least, we have a very great person actually from... Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to an episode, a special episode. I do programs called Savvy Sikh, so effectively this is a special edition. And we were approached recently and we were talking about an incident that took place literally a week ago. We've got the particular people here who it actually affected, and we've also got some really nice guests as well to talk about what we can do from an optimistic level going forward. The program we're going to do is going to be a mix of Punjabi and English, an opportunity to reach out to a wider group of people that watch Sikh Channel 840, and we're very thankful to 840 to give an opportunity for this kind of discussion to take place. My name is Dr. Savi. I'm going to introduce some of the people here. We have Gurjeet Singh, who is the son of Amarjit Kaur, who unfortunately the particular situation happened. Just in a very succinct summary of what was going on, about a week ago there was a particularly bad episode with Metropolitan Police with Amarjit Kaur, who happened to be in the car with her mother, which is Mata Dalip Kaur, who we see on the end there as well. So the other people that we have with us.
ऑफिसर ਉਹਨੇ ਮੇਰੇ ਡਿਟੇਲ ਲਏ, ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਤੇਰੇ ਕੋਲ ਲਾਇਸੈਂਸ ਹੈਗਾ? ਮੈਂ ਕਿਹਾ ਫੁੱਲ ਲਾਇਸੈਂਸ ਹੈਗਾ, ਮੈਂ 89 ਤੋਂ ਡਰਾਈਵਿੰਗ ਕਰਦੀ ਹਾਂ, ਪਰ ਮੇਰੀ ਗੱਡੀ ਅੱਜ ਤੱਕ ਰੋਕੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਿਸੇ ਨੇ, ਤੇ ਮੈਂ ਘਬਰਾਈ ਹਾਂ। ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਲਾਇਸੈਂਸ ਤੂੰ ਕੈਰੀ ਕਰਦੀ ਆ ਨਾਲ? ਮੈਂ ਕਿਹਾ ਨਹੀਂ। ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਤੈਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਨਿਊ ਲੋ ਬਾਈ ਲੋ ਤੈਨੂੰ ਲਾਇਸੈਂਸ ਨਾਲ ਰੱਖਣਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਸੀ। ਮੈਂ ਕਿਹਾ ਓਕੇ ਨੈਕਸਟ ਟਾਈਮ ਮੈਂ ਰੱਖ ਲੂੰਗੀ, ਪਰ ਹੁਣ ਮੇਰੇ ਕੋਲ ਹੈ ਨਹੀਂ, ਮੈਂ ਤੈਨੂੰ ਦਿਖਾ ਸਕਦੀ ਹਾਂ, ਮੇਰੇ ਕੋਲ ਘਰ ਹੈਗਾ, ਮੈਂ ਨੈਕਸਟ ਟਾਈਮ ਕੋਲ ਰੱਖ ਲੂੰਗੀ। ਅੱਛਾ, ਤੇ ਬਾਅਦ ਵਿੱਚ ਡੇਟ ਆਫ ਬਰਥ ਐਡਰੈਸ ਵਗੈਰਾ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਡਿਟੇਲ ਚੈੱਕ ਕੀਤੀਆਂ, ਚੈੱਕ ਕਰਕੇ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਉਹਨੇ ਕੁਛ ਨਹੀਂ ਦੱਸਿਆ।
ਮਾਤਾ ਜੀ ਨਾਲ ਨਹੀਂ ਗੱਲ ਕੀਤੀ ਨਾ ਉਹਨੇ?
ਨਹੀਂ ਜੀ, ਮਾਤਾ ਜੀ ਨਾਲ ਇਹ ਬਾਹਰ ਆਉਣ ਲੱਗੇ ਸੀਗੇ, ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦੇਖਿਆ ਮੈਂ ਘਬਰਾਈਆਂ ਤੇ ਉਹ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਬਾਹਰ ਨਹੀਂ ਆਉਣਾ, ਹੈ ਨਾ। ਹਾਂਜੀ, ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨਾਲ ਕੋਈ ਗੱਲ ਨਹੀਂ ਕੀਤੀ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ, ਇਹ ਬੈਠੇ ਰਹੇ ਮੇਰੇ ਵੱਲ ਦੇਖੀ ਗਏ।
ਸੋ ਉਸ ਟਾਈਮ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਕਿਰਪਾਨ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਜੰਪਰ ਚੁੱਕ ਕੇ ਫਿਰ ਕਿਰਪਾਨ
ਜੰਪਰ ਚੁੱਕ ਕੇ ਸ੍ਰੀ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਹਾਂਜੀ ਮਿਆਨ ਵਿੱਚੋਂ ਕੱਢ ਲਿਆ।
ਉਹ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਹੋਸਟਸ ਸੀ ਉਹਨੇ ਛੋੜ ਦਿੱਤਾ, ਪਰ ਕਿਰਪਾਨ
ਹਾਂਜੀ ਹਾਂਜੀ ਉਹ ਛੋੜ ਦਿੱਤਾ, ਗਾਤਰਾ ਵੀ ਰਹਿਣ ਦਿੱਤਾ।
ਤੁਸੀਂ ਦੱਸ ਰਹੇ ਸੀ ਪਹਿਲੇ ਕਿ ਉਹ ਕੀ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਸੀ ਕਿ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਗੱਡੀ ਦੇ ਪਿੱਛੇ ਰੱਖ ਸਕਦੇ ਬੂਟ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ? ਹਾਂਜੀ
ਬਾਅਦ ਵਿੱਚ ਫਿਰ ਉਹ ਹਾਂਜੀ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਡਿਟੇਲ ਚੈੱਕ ਕੀਤੀਆਂ, ਲਾਇਸੈਂਸ ਸ਼ੋਰ ਸਾਰਾ ਕੁਝ ਅਪ ਟੂ ਡੇਟ ਸੀਗਾ ਮੇਰਾ ਨਾ, ਪਰ ਉਹਨੇ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਦੱਸਿਆ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਿ ਤੇਰਾ ਪੇਪਰ ਵਰਕ ਠੀਕ ਆ, ਹੈ ਨਾ। ਤੇ ਮੈਂ ਉਹ ਘਬਰਾਈ ਸੀਗੀ। ਫਿਰ ਮੈਂ ਇੱਦਾਂ ਸਟੈਪ ਮੂਵ ਕੀਤਾ, ਮੈਨੂੰ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਤੂੰ ਆਪਣੇ ਫੀਟ ਮੂਵ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੀ ਕਰਬ ਤੋਂ। ਮੈਂ ਕਿਹਾ ਮੈਂ ਮੋਬਾਈਲ ਯੂਜ਼ ਕਰਨਾ, ਤੇ ਗੱਡੀ ਖੜੀ ਕਰਕੇ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਪੈਸੇਂਜਰ ਸੀਗਾ ਗ੍ਰੀਨਿਚ ਬਾਰ ਆਫ ਆਫਿਸਰ, ਉਹਨੇ ਵਿੰਡੋ ਵਿੱਚੋਂ ਮੂੰਹ ਬਾਹਰ ਕੱਢ ਕੇ ਚੰਗੀ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਸ਼ਾਊਟ ਕੀਤਾ, ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਆਪਣੀ ਵਹੀਕਲ ਬੱਸ ਲੇਨ 'ਚ ਪੁੱਲ ਕਰ। ਤੇ ਮੈਂ ਕਿਹਾ ਉਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਕੈਮਰਾ, ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਆਈ ਡੋਂਟ ਕੇਅਰ, ਮੈਂ ਕੈਮਰੇ ਦੀ ਕੇਅਰ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰਦਾ, ਤੈਨੂੰ ਉੱਥੇ ਗੱਡੀ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਜਾਣੀ ਪੈਣੀ ਆ ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਮੈਂ ਤੈਨੂੰ ਸਟਾਪ ਕਰਦਾ। ਮੈਂ ਕਿਹਾ ਠੀਕ ਹੈ, ਮੈਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਸੀ। ਤੇ ਮੈਂ ਫਿਰ ਉੱਥੇ ਗੱਡੀ ਰੋਕ ਲਈ, 2 ਕੁ ਗੱਡੀ ਇੱਧਰ ਟੇਢੀ ਕਰਕੇ ਮੈਂ ਰੋਕ ਲਈ, ਉਹਨੇ ਮੇਰੇ ਮੂਹਰੇ ਗੱਡੀ ਰੋਕ ਲਈ, ਹੈ ਨਾ। ਰੋਕ ਕੇ ਦੋਨੇ ਪੁਲਿਸ ਆਫਿਸਰ ਬਾਹਰ ਆ ਗਏ, ਮੇਰੀ ਚਾਬੀ ਵੀ ਗੱਡੀ ਵਿੱਚ, ਡੋਰ ਵੀ ਖੁੱਲੀ ਰਹਿ ਗਈ। ਤਾਂ ਜਦੋਂ ਬਾਹਰ ਆਏ ਤੇ ਲੈਫਟ ਹੈਂਡ ਸਾਈਡ ਤੇ ਸੀਗਾ ਆਪਣਾ ਟ੍ਰੈਫਿਕ ਆਫਿਸਰ, ਤੇ ਰਾਈਟ ਤੇ ਸੀਗਾ ਗ੍ਰੀਨਿਚ ਬਾਰ ਆਫਿਸਰ। ਉਹ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਪਤਾ ਤੂੰ ਗੱਡੀ ਰੋਕੀ ਨਹੀਂ, ਮੈਂ ਤੈਨੂੰ ਚਾਰਜ ਕਰ ਸਕਦਾ ਇਸ ਚੀਜ਼ ਵਿੱਚ, ਤੇ ਨੋਟ ਲਿਖਣ ਲੱਗ ਗਿਆ। ਮੈਂ ਕਿਹਾ ਠੀਕ ਆ, ਮੈਂ ਸੌਰੀ ਮੰਗਦੀ ਹਾਂ, ਮੇਰੀ ਮਿਸਟੇਕ ਆ। ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਯੈਸ ਤੂੰ ਬਹੁਤ ਵੱਡੀ ਮਿਸਟੇਕ ਕੀਤੀ ਆ। ਮੈਂ ਕਿਹਾ ਠੀਕ ਆ, ਹੈ ਨਾ। ਤੇ ਬਾਅਦ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਦੂਸਰਾ ਸੀਗਾ ਇੱਧਰਲੇ ਪਾਸੇ ਟ੍ਰੈਫਿਕ ਆਫਿਸਰ, ਉਹਨੇ ਮੇਰੇ ਸ੍ਰੀ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਦੇਖ ਲਈ, ਉਹਨੇ ਜੰਪਰ ਚੱਕ ਕੇ ਸ੍ਰੀ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਵਿੱਚੋਂ ਕੱਢ ਲਈ, ਮਿਆਨ ਵਿੱਚੋਂ ਕੱਢ ਲਈ। ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਤੂੰ ਨਾਈਫ ਫੇਅਰਿੰਗ ਕਰਦੀ ਆ। ਮੈਂ ਇੰਨੀ ਘਬਰਾਈ ਸੀ ਕਿ ਮੈਂ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਸਟਾਪ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰ ਸਕੀ, ਕਿ ਮੈਂ ਕਹਾਂ ਕਿ ਤੂੰ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਟੱਚ ਨਾ ਕਰ, ਤੂੰ ਹੱਥ ਨਾ ਲੈ, ਮੈਂ ਕੁਛ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰ ਸਕੀ ਸਿਰਫ ਦੁੱਖ ਤੋਂ ਬਿਨਾਂ। ਤੇ ਫਿਰ ਉਹਨੇ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਦੂਜੇ ਪਾਸੇ
all the things he's told me, all the things he's been involved in, I'm very impressed with the amazing medal that he's wearing, but he's too modest to talk about it. This is Harjinder Singh, who's a retired Metropolitan Police officer. Also he is the head of well, he's done a lot of delivery of diversity training, and I think you've been ahead of that particular area as well, and you're a leader in that, and you're now a freelance consultant and doing some tremendous work there. So let's move on to the central issue right now. Let's talk about what happened. We switched to Punjabi, and Sashka Biji ਗੱਲ ਹੈ, ਠੀਕ ਹੈ। ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਦੱਸੋ ਕਿ ਕੀ ਹੋਇਆ ਸੀ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਇੱਕ ਹਫ਼ਤੇ ਪਿੱਛੇ?
ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ। ਹਾਂਜੀ 6 ਜੁਲਾਈ ਫਰਾਈਡੇ, ਹਾਂਜੀ ਤਕਰੀਬਨ 1:30 ਮੈਂ ਵੁਲਵਿਚ ਗੁਰਦੁਆਰਾ ਸਿੰਘ ਸਭਾ ਤੋਂ ਆ ਰਹੇ ਸੀ, ਨਾਲ ਮੇਰੇ ਮਾਤਾ ਜੀ ਸਨ। ਥੋੜ੍ਹੀ ਕੁ ਦੂਰ ਉੱਥੋਂ ਆਏ ਹਾਂ ਅਤੇ ਬਾਅਦ ਵਿੱਚ ਇੱਕ ਗੱਡੀ ਪੁਲਿਸ ਦੀ ਮੇਰੇ ਪਿੱਛੇ ਆਈ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਸਾਇਰਨ ਲਗਾ ਕੇ ਲਾਈਟ ਫਲੈਸ਼ਿੰਗ ਕਰਕੇ, ਅਤੇ ਮੈਂ ਸੋਚਿਆ ਕਿ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਓਵਰਟੇਕ ਕਰਨਾ ਆਇਆ। ਇੱਕ ਪਾਸੇ ਬੱਸ ਲੇਨ ਸੀ, ਮੈਂ ਉਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਗਈ ਨਹੀਂ, ਰੋਕੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਿ ਮੈਂ ਬੱਸ ਲੇਨ 'ਚ ਗਈ ਅਤੇ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਪੁਲਿਸ ਨਾ ਰੋਕ ਲਵੇ, ਅਤੇ ਦੂਜੇ ਪਾਸੇ ਰਸਤਾ ਖਾਲੀ ਸੀ, ਟ੍ਰੈਫਿਕ ਹੈ ਨਹੀਂ ਸੀ। ਮੈਂ ਸੋਚਿਆ ਓਵਰਟੇਕ ਕਿਉਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰਦੇ। ਇਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਕਰਕੇ ਤਕਰੀਬਨ 100 ਯਾਰਡ ਜਾਂ 150 ਯਾਰਡ ਮੈਂ ਗਈ, ਆਪਣੀ ਸਪੀਡ ਚੈੱਕ ਕੀਤੀ, ਠੀਕ ਸੀ। ਅਤੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਫਿਰ ਰਾਈਟ